In this lesson, we're going to look at recursion. Now remember, recursion is the idea of a method calling itself. Now, recursion in computer science is a method where the solution to a problem depends on solutions to smaller instances of the same problem, as opposed to iteration. Now, while recursion can be used to iterative like loops, that's not the intention. And recursion will be infinite without the base case. The base case defines what will make the recursion stop and return to the previous method that called it. So I'm going to set x equal to 5, and we're going to use recursion to create the Fibonacci numbers. While this can be done with iteration, recursion here is the superior solution. So the x number, Fibonacci number, is, and then we're going to send it to this recursive method, fib of x. All right, so let's look at what this method does. Fib. This recursive method will find the x number in the Fibonacci sequence. So if I ask for the 10th number, that's the idea. So x, this is an int, it's to be used to find the xth Fibonacci number. And it will return an int that is the sum of all the numbers in the Fibonacci sequence. So remember, in the Fibonacci sequence, the number is the sum of the previous numbers. All right. So the base case will stop when x is less than or equal to 0. Sorry, less than or equal to 1. Else it's going to return the Fibonacci of x minus 1 plus the Fibonacci of x minus 2. So it's now branching into two different method calls. So this means that the return will happen after the method that was called returns its value. So if x is less than or equal to 1, I return x. Else, I'm going to return a call to this plus this. So I'm doing this method plus this method. So here's what it's going to look like when I call Fibonacci of 5. Well, Fibonacci of 5, that's not less than or equal to 1, so it goes here. Doing Fibonacci of 4 plus Fibonacci of 3. So I'm going to go down and look at what Fibonacci of 4 does before I get to Fibonacci of 3. Fibonacci of 4 is Fibonacci 3 plus Fibonacci 2. Well, let's look at Fibonacci 3. Fibonacci 3 is Fibonacci 2 plus Fibonacci 1. Well, Fibonacci 2 is Fibonacci 1 plus Fibonacci 0. Well, Fibonacci of 1 and Fibonacci of 0, well, they're both less than or equal to 1, so they both return x. So in this case, this guy returns 1, and this guy returns 0. So this is 1 plus 0, which is 1. So Fibonacci of 2 is 1. Then Fibonacci of 1 is 1. So this is a 1. So it's 1 plus 1, which is 2. So Fibonacci 3 is 2. Going back here, Fibonacci 2, we can go through this. We can see it's this, which is 1 plus 0. So that's 1. We go back. Eventually, we get this. Fits back to Fibonacci 4. We go back to look at this Fibonacci 3. We go down this branch of Fibonacci 2 plus Fibonacci 1. Well, that's this, which is 1 plus 0. So that's 1. Fibonacci of 1 is 1. So that's 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is 3. This was 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So the fifth Fibonacci number is 5. Let's see if this works out the way we think it does. Fifth Fibonacci number is 5. Let's try it again. Let's see. The sixth Fibonacci number should give us 8 because 5 plus 3. And it does. And so that is the end of this lesson.